Ed Reardon's Week by Christopher Douglas and Andrew Nichols. Episode 6, Elgar Writes.
Elgar! Breakfast gong. Where are you? Suit yourself. It's only going to get drier. The days are wasting. There's work to be done. Jenny Murray to be shouted at. Or whatever the new one's called. Why do they have to change things all the time? Oh, there you are. Are you being fed somewhere else? Right. Let's examine the state of the finances. No, I might as well check the inbox first. I know you don't like the email noise, but... Oh, you're being remarkably tolerant this morning, Elgar. That's usually the cue for clawing the carpet. Right, what do we have here? Good news about Ed. Worth a look. Do you realise how widespread Ed is? Erectile dysfunction now... Oh, really? What else? Why not become a writer? Oh, how long have you got? Next. Dearly most beloved one. You see, Elgar, they don't do themselves any favours at all. Beloved with 2 L's, lowercase o. I mean, really, the standards of literacy among the third world criminal classes are becoming quite deplorable. Which reminds me, online banking. Hi, Mr. E. Reardon. Need a loan? No, I don't, and certainly not from a cartoon elephant. Happen to have been quite prudent lately. And... Oh, for God's sake!
Yes, sir. What can the bank do for you today there, sir?
Well, I see from your sash that you'd love to help.
That's right. That's what we're here for. All got to help each other out these days.
Indeed. So, I wonder if you might show me to the manager's office, if he's not busy rehearsing a Busby Berkeley routine for your next television commercial.
If you'd just like to take a seat here and we'll try and sort out your little problem.
Excuse me. Well, Shahid, my first problem is I don't really want to discuss this on a stool in public. What happened to the privacy of those offices with the carpet going up the walls?
So, was it a loan issue you wanted to discuss in private? Because, I mean, not being funny, but you look like you might be coming up for redundancy.
No, I'm not. And the issue is that I'm being prevented from paying off a 30p deficit on my current account from my business account online.
Yeah, because that would be below the minimum online transfer amount, which is £1. But I'm glad to hear that you're using our paper-free banking service, because it saves a lot of trouble.
Yeah, well, it might save you a lot of trouble.
Well, that's right, as well as being environmentally friendly. So, here's your I'm being kind to the planet badge.
Look, Shahid, can I just give you the 30p?
We don't have a facility for doing that. I can't just put 31p in the computer, can I? I'll tell you what you do, sir. As you're late settling the outstanding balance, you have now incurred a £20 penalty. However, if you just pay that online, it'll take you over the £1 threshold, end of problem.
Yeah, except I'd be £20 poorer.
But you wouldn't be if you had an overdraft facility.
Right. Can I have one, please?
No.
Why not?
I'm afraid there's insufficient activity in the account. You see, there's nothing really in it for us, is there? Especially in the current climate. Why don't we have a look at your business account?
Well, I wouldn't bother. There's even less activity in there. Until I sell the novel, of course.
Tell you what, sir. Have you considered a high-interest savings account? Because, like, every time you get your wages, you could save a bit towards that holiday of a lifetime. Or a new sofa.
Yes, I'm starting to understand the principle of this modern-day Macawber-ism. Annual banking income from the taxpayer, 75 billion, plus obscene bonuses. Result, happiness. Customer expenditure, 30p, not including badge. Result, sheer, thoroughgoing asininity of the first water.
Would you be interested in our counselling service?
No.
Not a problem. Anything else I can help you with today there, sir?
Wednesday. My offer to work off the debt to the bank by providing them with higher quality aphorisms to print on their free pens was also rebuffed. Hard to believe that use me, don't chew me was thought somehow superior to the ineffably more elegant and pithier scribble, don't nibble. By happy contrast, I found on my return an encouraging response from the dearly most beloved one email correspondence. I had sent them a corrected proof version of their fraudulent appeal, along with a suggestion that they might have more success with the gullible if they used better English. Well, let's see what our fishing friends have to say, Elgar. Very prompt, I must say. Thanks, and that, Ed, for the write-in it. because our English is like well-minging. Well, clearly a more courteous class of swindler than the bank. My dear Sir or Madam. The impecunious, educated Victorian gentleman could often make a comfortable living teaching English to the children of the empire's aristocracy. I see no reason why an honest crust shouldn't be earned by offering the same service to those unlettered citizens of the far-flung criminal world on which the sun never sets. A sort of Anna and the King of Spam, with myself as the Deborah Carr figure. While phishers are able to reproduce the logos of financial institutions with admirable verisimilitude, their clumsy, apostrophe-ridden requests for passwords and memorable dates must surely fail to part even the dullest fool from his money. And were you to set your sights on the banking world, I would esteem it an honour to help in whatever way I can, in return for a remittance commensurate with your success. I remain, as ever, your obedient servant, yours, etc., Ed Reardon, brackets, author. And send. Right. A couple of hours on the novel, and then a swim. Let's see what we've got. Decide on name for hero. Tim? No. Givin. Not that many Wilfreds around these days. What about... What? Oh, it's dark. Oh, I must have just drifted off for a minute. Fireworks. Are you all right, Elgar? You're normally under the bed by now. What's the matter, old chap?
Go for that.
No, everybody dressed up.
Sorry, I'm late, everybody. Held up by revellers thronging the streets.
Bloody festivals. There's something every week now. What's this one? Shawaddy Waddy?
It's Diwali, Stan.
Why can't we stick to the proper ones? What's wrong with wit? If you want a celebration, goes for nothing these days.
I think we writers have a duty to acknowledge these seasonal mileposts, as Larkin did in Wits and Weddings. I agree Holocaust Day weddings doesn't have quite the same ring to it.
It's diversity, though, Diwali. I think it's all lovely.
Surrey used to play knots at Trent Bridge at Whetstone. Now look, you don't know where you are.
So I was thinking that in tonight's class we might discuss the significance of names and how they have the power to resonate in a work of fiction. Pearl, perhaps you could start us off. Very quiet this evening.
I know. I've had a bit of a tragedy.
She's had her dog put down.
Stan, he's gone across the Rainbow River.
But what?
Yes, Olive, this is a poetic reference that escapes us.
It's where pets go to when they pass on to the other side.
Or when their owners want to go to their nieces for the weekend.
I'm not saying that didn't have a bearing on it, but it had to be done. First Alfie went deaf, then suddenly he couldn't move.
Oh, he could, you know, Pearl. He'd have been bounding across the meadow.
What meadow?
The one that leads to the Rainbow River. Haven't you seen the website?
Ah, so it's an online myth, is it? Would I be right in thinking there's a whiff of Americana about this conceit?
But the Rainbow River is for pets of all nations and religious beliefs. It knows no boundaries.
So it too is committed to diversity. Is this helping at all, Pearl?
Not really, because his eyesight were going too. I'm not sure he'd have found his way out of the meadow. He just hurtled about, bashing his head on the hedge.
Yeah, I think this is where the grieving owner has to take a leap of faith, Pearl, and believe that the pet is travelling to a better place. Travelling spelt with one L, of course. But tell me, how did you find out that Alfie was deaf?
He stopped coming when I called him for his dinner.
Did you think about bursting an empty crisp packet behind his head?
I'm a bit worried about Elgar, my cat, who seems to be displaying some of the same symptoms.
I've got a klaxon. Keep it on the hall table for when carol singers come. One blast on that through the letterbox and it clears the porch before they even get to the end of Bethlehem.
That doesn't sound very Christmassy.
I know, that's the idea. You can borrow it if you like.
Thank you, Stan.
But I'd need it back before Halloween.
Ah, so you did hear that, Elgar. No, I see. It was just excitement at seeing the cheese and onion fragments on the floor. Diagnosis inconclusive. I don't want to have to resort to Stan's hooter. That would just be cruel. Let's see. Deafness in cats. See if there's anything. Tuesday and Wednesday. I find myself not so much crossing the Rainbow River to paradise, but passing through a cat flap in the gates of hell. Feline deafness is a relatively widespread occurrence, but not nearly so common as the number of mawkish, anthropomorphic blogs purporting to be written in the voice of the sufferers themselves. I couldn't resist replying to several of the most cloyingly offensive, under the protection, of course, of a pseudonym. Hey, get over it, Balthazar. Litter happens, right? Next time, get a ball that won't roll under the front step. Cheers, Elgar. And you know what, Princess Pretty Paws? Get yourself spayed. You need to stay in more. All the best. Elgar. Rather enjoying this. Now then, cat's hearing aids. Oh, £300. Are we absolutely sure we need this, Elgar? Elgar! Still nothing. Right. Hello, Ping. Now look, I've decided I'm prepared to accept commercial reality and write an episode of Merlin for television. Summer solstice special, whatever they want.
I can't think about that now, Ed.
Too soon? Fair enough. All right, what about an episode of Kingdom? I could do one of them in my sleep on the train home.
Ed, it's been cancelled.
Really? I expect there'll be a replacement bus service. Gives me time to write 2 episodes.
Ed, shut up. I'm in the middle of a major crisis. It's like full on...
Oh, really? That serious? Worse than when you committed to go to 2 beach weddings on the same day, on different continents?
No, not that bad, obviously. But Felix has just lost £5 million of the agency's money.
Is that a lot? I'm afraid that anything over 4 figures is meaningless to me.
It's not meaningless. It's all disappeared from the client's account. Repeat fees, royalties, income from downloads, merchandising, T-shirts, Lego characters.
Right, well, as little of that affects me, I'll let you get on.
Yes, thank you. I've been trying to get you to do that for like 100 years.
Where is he?
Oh, hi, Jazz. Yeah, Ed, that idea should work really, really well. I'll get onto the Merlin guys this afternoon. 3 of the producers used to live in my house.
Oh, good.
Ping, I've got to talk to Felix now.
I think he's in a really important meeting with the accountant.
Good. I want to know what's happened to my Legoland money. I spent 8 days of my life shooting that commercial, and half of that was kneeling down.
Oh, never mind. I'm sure the grand jury at Cannes will recognise the hardship you suffered in the service of art.
Why are you looking so pleased with yourself, Reardon? Ping, you haven't given him my 400 grand by mistake.
No, Jazz, the money's... Well, it's...
No, you're not going to say it's in the post, are you? It doesn't even exist anymore.
Well, surely they have a pillar box in Legoland, Jazz.
Well, they do, actually, and very realistic it is. Felix!
So, how did Felix lose all this money?
Fishing.
Ah, is that what a weekend on the banks of the Tweed costs now? He should have come to Berkhamsted. I could have fixed him up with a spot on the canal towpath for, $1.5 million. Use of stool and transistor radio thrown in.
No, fishing meaning giving away all his bank details and his first prep school and matron's maiden name.
I'm surprised Felix could remember all that.
Only because I wrote it all down and pinned it inside his waistcoat. But the email was so convincing.
He managed to open an email, did he?
Yeah, I wrote those instructions on the back of his hand. I mean, it looked totally kosher. Proper letterhead, all like grammatically spelled, da-da-da. And it had, "We remain as ever, your obedient servants," on the sign-in page.
Did it now? Well, that's very clever of, well, whoever it was, whichever African country it was. But this fraud sounds like some sort of inside job. I mean, they'll probably never catch the perpetrators. Felix would just have to put it down to spilt milk. Shame.
End of the day, Felix.
My dear Jazz, there's absolutely nothing to worry about. It's the merest blip.
A £5 million blip.
You told me it was only half that, Felix.
We need a hit, that's all, and we've never failed to find one yet. So I'd like to take you to the Connaught, Jazz, and we can puff out our chests over lunch at the success that awaits us.
How are you going to pay for this, Felix? Because I'm not.
Well, Ping's going to be very kind indeed and lend me whatever's in her purse.
But I've only got a couple of hundred.
Well, don't be so hard-hearted, Ping. They can have the set menu.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that at all.
I don't either.
I better have your Coutts card again, Ping.
Friday. The dearly beloved internet swindlers seem to have surpassed themselves in relieving the undeserving rich of their not very hard-earned money to the tune of what my free but still, frankly, overpriced newspaper believed ran into many hundreds of millions of pounds. However, their orthographical improvement did not appear to be matched by their sense of duty or fair play. There is such a thing, beloved ones, as honour among thieves, and I would expect you to fulfil those obligations by paying, shall we say, a 10% commission into my bank account. Numbers and details herewith appended, in recognition of my services. I remain your obedient servant, Ed Reardon, son of Beryl Reardon, née Collinson. Memorable word, residuals. Ah! Oh! Nothing wrong with your claws, Elgar. Or indeed your weight. You've come to check up on your blog. All right, let's see whose fur you rubbed up the wrong way today. But then I really must get on with the novel. Oh! With a little help from his owner, Elgar's trenchant postings on the Moggy sphere have provoked a gratifying response. 438 replies. Building up. Hey, Elgar, you the man. Like your style, furry guy. Hi, Elgar. I'm 4 years old, single, and looking for Mr. Right. Meows about sharing a saucer of milk. Hey, Elgar, any chance of getting your human to take a photo of you tapping the keys? Oh, for heaven's sake. Right. Can we please dispense with the asinine delusion about our so-called humans? Get off, Elgar. Who's writing this? I'll show it you when I've finished. For the last time, we do not choose our owners. Why else would we endure names like Mrs. Snuffington and appear on websites getting our heads cutely stuck in goldfish bowls and playing with remotes? Not that there's anything worth pressing any of the buttons to watch. Oh, does that sound a bit too like me? I think it's a fair point. The humans are in charge, that's the deal, so wake up and smell the coli. Yours, Elgar. Send. No, I haven't got time to do rewrites, Elgar. The virtual world's all very well, but the reality is that your human has no money, no food, and needs to find a source of income. So, I'm going out. I said I'm going out. This could get very irritating indeed if we have to spend the rest of our lives together like this. Joe Orton got off lightly. Yes, I'd like to know where in the hospital I should go to sell one of my kidneys, please. No, I'm deadly serious.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at something on the computer. What was it again?
I need to sell one of my kidneys.
Bit old to be a student, aren't you? Oh, if I had £1 for everyone who comes in asking that.
Actually, I was hoping to raise rather more than that.
Always the same this time of year. Loan repayments. I'll tell you what I tell them. You can't sell your organs in this country. It's illegal. Sorry. Now, I've got to get on. Oh, have you seen this, Val? He's so cheeky, isn't he?
Well, look, can you take my kidney out anyway? I can share it with my cat for supper.
You got a cat? He's not called Elgar, is he?
How do you know?
So you named him after the one with the blog? Look, sorry, you can't come round this side, OK?
How did you find out about this blog?
Rheumatology put us onto it. Actually, the whole hospital's reading it. They're 200 behind on the flu jabs. I think Elgar should stand for Parliament.
Really? Well, I suppose he'd make a better communicator than most of them. Do you know, I heard an anythink in Prime Minister's questions the other day.
Yeah, and he wouldn't fiddle his expenses either.
No, I wouldn't go that far. Still, gratifying to know that one has gone viral, to use a term I'm sure you're familiar with here.
Have you thought about taking part in clinical trials? They pay you to go to sleep. I've got a leaflet from one of the companies somewhere.
I've no doubt that'll appeal to the students. Probably get a degree in it these days. Double-starved first for having a bit of a ziz.
You sound just like Elgar. Do you want this leaflet?
No, thank you. I need to go and talk to my agent.
OK, thanks for your call, Cindy.
Wrong number, Ping. You don't usually talk to someone with a normal name.
Shut up, Ed. Felix, Cinderella says Pixar can go to 6 million, but only if Ben Elton agrees to write it.
Pixar, great. That's one baseball cap I haven't got yet.
You see, Jazz, I told you something would turn up.
Yeah, it's not on my head yet, Felix.
Remember, 1992, the cupboard was absolutely bare. Harry Starkers, until that cancer diary man fell into our laps just in time for the Christmas market. Glad tidings all round.
Well, I've got a project on the go at the moment that might well help the agency out of its hole.
Oh, how very generous.
Yeah, there's a truffle jar over there for loose change, Ed. No pesetas. They're not legal now.
Do you know, Tom Stoppard chipped in £1 million when he heard the chateau was under threat. People have been so kind, but it looks as though it won't be even necessary now.
Hadn't we better go and talk about my per diems, Felix?
Of course, high time you had another speedboat.
And another glass of fizz.
Ping, let me know when you've tracked down our mysterious author. My money's still on David Hare.
Hi. Can I speak to Will Self, please? It's Ping from Felix Jeffrey Associate. Oh, God, Will, that was the most brilliant Albanian cleaner's accent I've ever heard. They should have you back on Shooting Stars. It's been rubbish since you left.
Actually, can you tell him it was rubbish when he was on it, too?
Oh, shut up, Ed. Listen, selfie mate, settle an office argument. Is it you writing that awesome cat blog, Elgar?
Well, I can settle that for you, Ping. It's me.
Shush. It's brilliant, isn't it? I mean, whoever it is going to make a stack, like literally whatever's next size up from a shed.
It's me.
No, I've tried Salman. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, the guy who wrote the Monkey Book. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Bye. Bye.
Ping! Ping! Elgar is my cat.
You got a cat?
Well, you send us both a Christmas card every year, signed by the whole agency.
We have people do that for us. Work experience kids in the summer.
Nevertheless, you see before you the author of the Elgar blog. So, 6 million from Pixar, eh? I'd say take it.
Felix, Jazz, bad news.
Some of the greatest literary successes in the Pantheon have arrived uninvited in the creator's imagination, an unexpected but welcome guest at the dinner table of world literature. T.S. Eliot, for example, took a break before the third of the 4 quartets, cleansing his palate with Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats, a very similar situation to my own, the as-yet untitled novel with its so far unnamed hero being set aside for the jeu d'esprit that is Elgar's blog. The prospect of Hollywood millions conjured up glamorous images of shopping at Sainsbury's in daylight hours, instead of waiting till closing time when they give away the rotten food out the back, a hearing aid for Elgar, possibly even some cosmetic surgery for him and myself, ready for the red carpet walk from the limo to the Oscars ceremony. Though needless to say, my agents were on hand to keep my sandalled but not yet pedicured feet firmly on the ground.
More bad news, Felix. I just saw Ben Elton's tweet. He's going to be walking across Antarctica till the BAFTAs.
Oh, dear.
Oh, well, it'll just have to be the real author, then.
Don't be ridiculous. We need a top-class writer to develop this, come up with some adventures.
Oh, why don't you give Alan Titchmarsh a call?
Yay!
Well, thank God somebody's on the ball this morning.
I wasn't being serious. In any case, I own the rights. How did you find out about Elgar, anyway?
Araminta in accounts came across it while she was looking for her horoscope. It said she could soon be on her way to La La Land, and it's come to pass.
That name will have to go for a start. Elgar, that'll mean squat to the vital 14-18 demographic.
Well, it won't mean anything to anyone until you pay me for the rights.
Oh, really? A ping, purse.
I don't want cash. I want a proper buyout baxed into my account like an authentic writer. Not a gardener or a game show panellist.
Ah, I've got it. Scally cat. He's a scouse cat with a bit of mischief about him. And we'll get Ringo to do the voice.
Oh, excellent, Jazz. We'll send the hamper round this afternoon.
You needn't bother until you've paid me first, because it's my idea, my cat. Elgar belongs to me.
Wrong. Scally belongs to the world.
And any life-supporting planets yet to be discovered. Don't forget that, Jazz.
Exactly. Scally in space.
Just sign this waiver, Ed.
Yes, sir. What can the bank do for you today, there, sir?
Right, Shahid, up on the stool again, is it?
Yes, sir. If you wouldn't mind popping yourself back off the stool till we've verified your details, then we can initiate a chat.
Very well. Here's my debit card, and that's rather the problem. It seems to have been stopped, and it really shouldn't have been, because there's a substantial amount of money in there from my latest movie deal.
You gave up on the novel, did you? Oh, yeah, £4,000, sweet.
Exactly. So I was wondering why the bank refuses to allow me to draw money out, because, to be perfectly blunt...
Just pop yourself back on the stool.
Yeah, right. So, to be perfectly blunt, this is my money. not the banks. And, I don't want to have to move my account to Coots, but I will unless this is rectified immediately.
Yeah. Now, what has happened, right, is there's been unusual activity on the account. No, you're not allowed to look at the screen. Just stay, as I say, on the stool.
Well, look, I bought my cat a hearing aid. I paid to have it fitted.
No. What's alerted our fraud department is not what you've done with the money. I mean, you're a customer. That is totally your decision. But it's the fact that you've got £4,000 in there. I mean, not being funny, but that is unusual, according to our records.
So I'm now being penalised for having too much money, is that right?
No, but you see, there's this thing called phishing, right?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Which you've probably never heard of.
I have, actually.
And it's not sitting on the towpath with a rod and that.
I know.
And what they do, these conmen, is get all your details. They're getting better at that. I don't know if someone's been teaching them proper English or what. Then they pay some money in to check they've got the details right, then they clean you out.
Well, this obviously doesn't apply to me. I've got the receipt for both the shoes and the deaf aid. Here, see? So can you just reactivate the card?
No, we can't do that, sir. Card's been cancelled. For your protection, can't be too careful. But the good news is we're popping a new one in the post, special delivery.
What am I supposed to do for cash till then?
Well, have you got any, friends or acquaintances you could borrow money off?
No!
That's a shame. Oh, yeah, sorry, sir, I have to go now. We've got a staff huddle. Anything else I can help you with?
No.
Well, you enjoy the rest of your day now, sir.
No, you enjoy the rest of your day. Right, Elgar, you'll be pleased to hear that you'll be pleased to hear anything, I expect. It's very discreet, isn't it? Anyway, you'll be pleased to hear I've played hardball with your contract and we've retained control over your coat. Well, I wasn't having them turn you orange. Don't want anyone to think we're muscling in on Garfield's territory. And you're not going to be blue. Tom and Jerry did that one to death. Anyway, they were somewhat one-dimensional characters, if truth be told. Yes, I know you're hungry for your dinner, but we have to wait until Daddy's new debit card's arrived. Special delivery. Yes, it is. Very special. Our passport to a weekend of gluttony. Sure it should be here by now. Perhaps if I waited at the end of the street. No, what's this? Sorry we missed you. What? Please allow 48 hours before collecting from sorting office. But I've been in all morning. How can I not have heard that? Oh, give it a rest, Elgar. Where's your off switch?
Ed Reardon's Week starred Christopher Douglas, Stephanie Cole, John Fortune, Philip Jackson, Rita May, Barunker O'Shaughnessy, Nicholas Sanderson, Paul Sharma and Geoffrey Whitehead. It was written by Christopher Douglas and Andrew Nichols. The producer was Dawn Ellis.